This is my plutonium T2000 space demodulator. It is powered by pure dilithium and dispenses and/or mangles Halloween candy in a touchless fashion, so I don't have to. Let me show you around. Simply wave your hand under the treat sensor, and candy is dispensed down this chute until one of these two sensors is tripped. If neither sensor is tripped, either because no candy is dispensed or the candy fails to trip the sensor, then the motor will stop turning after 10 seconds, at which time the process can be repeated. If the sensor is not tripped after 3 consecutive tries, then the system shuts down and these two red LEDs are illuminated to let me know there's likely a jam. Then all I have to do is clear out the jam, reset the microprocessor, and send it. But what if you don't want a treat? This is a useless box. It is a cheap, ridiculous waste of money, and as the name suggests, not useful for any purpose, just like me. In short, I love everything about it. So, I had to include one on my device. Just flip the switch and enjoy. I will now demonstrate. First thing you do is turn it on. Then wait for the smoke. No smoke this time. Good. And you just wave your hand underneath. You may have noticed that it doesn't deliver a consistent amount of candy each time. That's okay because I don't deliver a consistent amount of candy each time when I do it manually either. So if some kid gets 6 pieces of candy, so be it. I have plenty more in that bowl right over there. Well, okay, I guess the wife must have eaten it. Anyway, there will be some in the bowl. We'll just get more. Let me show you what makes this thing tick. And at the heart of the beast is the Arduino Nano microprocessor. I like to use nano processors whenever possible because they're less expensive than the more popular Uno, and I'm cheap. I am the world's self-proclaimed second worst programmer, and the software that runs this thing is so ludicrously simple it only took me 3 tries to get it right. Now, here's how it works. So 120 volts comes from the wall. It gets stepped down to 12 volts to drive the motor, which is in there. Somewhere in there is a something isolation transformer thingy, and that makes sure that the chocolate from the motor doesn't mix with the peanut butter from the microcontroller. So 120 is stepped down to 12 for the motor, then step down to 5 for the sensors, then step down to the 3 for the CPU because efficiency. Up here, a motor turns a coil of 1/4-inch copper tubing that used to convey water to a refrigerator ice maker or a sewer or something. Now I've bent it into the shape of a helix so it can move candy to a little hole and a chute and into the awaiting mouth of some overprivileged 5-year-old. I can show you how that works. So there are 2 kinds of jams. A candy jam, a motor jam, and a strawberry jam. A candy jam occurs when no candy is dispensed even though the motor is turning, in which case all I have to do is get the candy moving again. A motor jam happens when the motor fails to crush the candy beyond recognition, like this, but instead strains under the load, in which case the motor could burn out. So, included in my little circuit is an automatically resettable fuse, which will shut down the motor if the current goes over 250 milliamps. How did I come up with 250 milliamps? Well, I found this out by holding the motor until it stopped. It's all very scientific, and you probably wouldn't understand. The strawberry jam occurs in the morning at breakfast. The back of the machine is kept open so that I can easily reset the microcontroller, add more candy, or store my cream cheese. There's even this little shelf up in here that I can put a camera on and look through that hole to see the bewildered faces of people who can't seem to figure out how to work the controls. I'm probably never going to use that. So anyway, if you'd like more information on on the details of how I built this machine, then just click on the link in the description and it'll take you to another video. So that's it. Thank you for watching and happy Halloween.